Hello and welcome to this glorious game of Starbow. This will be an awesome game between Terran player NasD in the purple colors down in the bottom left corner of match point, and his opponent in the top right corner will be none other than the green Zerg player Franscar. Now you may not have heard of any of these players, but if you go to starbowmod.com and you start laddering, you'll see that these players are at the very top of the ladder. NasD, one of the very best Terran players we have, with maybe the exception of Dirty Bag, but that can be debated. And Franscar, one of the just best players all around. He doesn't stick with one race in particular, although I don't think he plays too much Terran. Mostly Zerg and Protoss, and it's very matchup based. So it seems that versus Terran he goes for Zerg, but I've seen him play Protoss versus Terran too, I think. So he's just one of those all-around players who plays all sort of different matchups. And this is going to be a match point. This map is a little bit special. It has the natural and the main at the same level, as well as the third, which is a mineral only. Ooh, and we see NasD hiding the barracks. I like it. It's not really that big of a proxy play, I would say, because it's not that far away to just float it over here, but it's one of those things that are going to put Franscar into maybe like a little bit of panic mode, because he's going to see a gas, he's going to see a supply depot, and he's not going to see the barracks, and that's going to confuse him quite a bit. But this Overlord just, no, I think it's heading the wrong direction. In the meantime, Franscar is going for the 12 hatch, followed up by what seems to be a oh no, never mind, that's not a 12 hatch, that was like a 10 hatch with a 10 pull. It's really weird. I've never seen that before. But he got an Overlord. That's really weird. I should have followed him a little bit more closely there instead of blabbering about stuff. So I'm very curious. You know, Franscar, he's going to see the command center. He's going to see the refinery. He's going to start looking for a barracks. Yes, that's right. It's like, it's got to be a barracks here somewhere. And he can't see it. So what does he do? He's probably going to start saving some larvae now, because the spawning pool is about finished. He's going to get his gas. And let's see if he saves this for Zerglings. No, he keeps making drone. He hasn't seen... Wow, that's ballsy. He doesn't see barracks. He knows there might be some proxy shenanigans. He might even be like, right here it could have been, and that would have been detrimental. But he's just going to keep making workers. And he's going to make even more workers. Oh, he makes an Overlord. And is he going to get a Zergling? He's getting a Queen. He doesn't care. He's like, I'll be fine, whatever. Wow. Pretty ballsy play from Franscar. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember. But anyway, so we're gonna have some Reaper opening from NasD. So let's follow this Reaper and see what he's up to. Now we got some Zerglings and Queens incoming. I guess, see, this is the thing about the Starbow ladder. There's not that many good, like really good players. So on the very top, it's kind of lonely when it comes to ladder points. So you usually only find like good players. Usually only play against each other. And there's not that many of them, so they kind of start metagaming each other a little bit. You know, they know what kind of styles, and we have this area here that you can jump the Reaper up and down over here too, I think. So here we go. He's going to try and micro versus the Zerglings. He's going to do a good job. Franscar pulling back the hurt one. When the Zerglings are on the creep, they do regenerate their HP. Let's see how fast that goes, actually. So we got... Oh, that's pretty fast. That's pretty darn fast. Look at that. Oh, no, it stopped. I guess he got off a creep. Oh, yeah, back. Wow, that's really fast. So yeah, you really want to get Zerg units on creep, actually, still in Starbow. It doesn't give them more speed, so you don't want to... There's no point in pushing creep for like for the speed advantage, but for regen, so you don't have to retreat as long. Oh, tries to save that. Nice micro from, or almost nice micro from Franscar. Finally has enough energy to enrage, and he gets out of there without losing a single Reaper. That's really nice, forcing that 35 energy burn on the Swarm Queen in Starbow. For the Queen to attack, you need to pay 35 energy. That's a steep price to pay, but the attack is pretty strong too once they do. Now we don't see the attack now anymore because it's not activated, but I think it's 18 damage per shot, which is a lot more than the StarCraft 2 Queen, but it shouldn't, you know, it's all fair and makes sense. So he's not going for the Elite Reaper training, I think. Oh, he's catching the Reapers off guard! Sorry, I was distracted there for a second, and yeah, he got the Reapers. That's really, really nice. From the Zerglings. So we got this group that's going to be just fine versus Zerglings. He should put them on hold positions to clump them up a little bit more, because there are no banelings or lurkers. Units in Starbow auto spread if they're not on hold position, like you see right now. But here we go, and there's no way you want to go up there. Ooh, he's going to lose the Overlord too if he's not careful. But it's only 3 Marines though. It's going to take a while, but this Overlord isn't going to get anywhere very fast at all, and we're going to see them poppy pop. He's going to try and get flanking the Zerglings to circumvent the Fire bats to save the Overlord. I can't talk today. There we go. I can't talk any day by the way. Oh, it's waste. Well, forcing him to use a scan though. That's nice. It's no mules here though, so it's not that big of a deal, but he makes it harder for him to call down those SCVs. But here comes the push from NasD. We're gonna get some nurtured swarmed out spine crawlers, and he's forcing the spine crawlers, which is always nice. He sees not the okay. He's gonna see the spine crawlers soon, and I don't think he wants to attack into 3 spine crawlers, especially when you only firebats are good versus Zerglings, not so good versus spine crawlers, just because they deal. They have the kind of damage I think that deals most damage to light and least to armored, and all structures are armored. Even creep tumors are armored. I just learned. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not our creep tumors. In StarCraft 2 they are at least. Oh, well, just because they have 0 armored doesn't mean... Yeah, they're still... okay. Armored biological structure. Biological structure medium. Really weird. Maybe creep tumors in Starbow are not armored, actually. It's really interesting. Very... not that interesting, though, to be honest. Ooh, but he needs to stop poking his head in there, because every head that gets poked in gets chopped off by these spine crawlers. So he's gonna, yeah, clear some creep and just sit out here, I guess. In the meantime, and I like this, Franscar is going for the Muta switch, and this is a 2-base Muta, so there's no third hatchery even here, so he's gonna have to do some damage with this. But this is not like a very rushed Muta, I feel. So he already has some groups here, but oh, NasD made so many firebats. It's gonna be hard for him to deal with these Mutalisks. He's got a lot of Marines here now, and he's got the barrel stabilizer on the way, which increases the range of Marines. Oh, with so many medics, he's never gonna get... Yes, he does get them killed. He's gonna kill the medics too. This is really bad. Okay, a group of Marines come back, and some nice micro action back and forth there between Franscar and NasD. NasD finally taking his natural. I thought he'd taken that a long time ago, so he's gonna be a little bit behind economically. Oh, never mind. He's just fine. I guess, hang on, what's the number of workers for? Yeah, Zerg doesn't have that many workers. He did sacrifice quite a bit to get this many Mutalisks at this early of a time, even though it's not the earliest Mutalisks you can get. Oh, he's gonna not be able to cancel barrel stabilizer. No, it's gonna be done in 4 seconds. He's gonna try and pick off a firebat. The Mutalisks now have an increased range after the newest patch, which is not that new anymore, of 3.5. So it is a little bit easier now to micro versus Marines. I would say that this strategy for Franscar was pretty much just horrible before the recent patch, because they didn't clump up as much as the Brood War, and they do bug a lot when you try to micro them. This is due to some bugs from StarCraft 2. This is something we try to fix, but it's impossible for us. I actually sent an email to Blizzard about this. Hopefully they'll listen. But what happens is that when they overkill a unit, they just dead stop. So you lose the yeah, you see that and it's kind of stop a little bit, and it's really bad. Makes them hard to micro. So we're gonna try and get that fixed. It's very little noticeable. Like, see, when they shoot the firebats, they deaccelerate better because they don't overkill them. But yeah, it's kind of hard to notice, but whatever. It's something that feels better once they hopefully gets fixed. So we're gonna have a lurker switch from Franscar. We're gonna have a starport incoming from NasD. So we're gonna see some probably some very standard lurkers versus science vessels. He's probably gonna get some scourges too to try and snipe those science vessels. I really like this move from Franscar, bringing 2 lurkers here. 2 lurkers don't do exactly the same job they did in Brood War. You actually might want to have 3 now. I know 2 lurkers on top of a ramp in Brood War could hold an almost infinite amount of Marines. Not the same in Starbow anymore. It's a little bit more tricky. But if you stack them on top of each other, or almost on top of each other, which you now can with the recent patch, I think that helps. Versus Marines, of course, it's horrible versus siege tanks. Nice, he's gonna catch this, barracks, which really should just get lifted up. But he's gonna try and engage here. He's gonna try and split up. Franscar actually unburrowing in response. I would have just sit there and see how much damage they could do, but that's just me. Ooh, nice, little bit of micro action from the Mutalisks. Try to pick off the firebats in the front there, but NasD is not gonna have any of this, and he's gonna just rush for it. And Franscar is just retreating with the tail between his legs. I don't know. Does NasD know about this base? He does not, but it's fairly well defended. Three lurkers on top of this ramp, though, is going to be very difficult to break, and he already knows that looking to go the long way around. This map does feature this important high ground area here, right by the mineral third. And if you can get some siege tanks up here, or some lurkers up here, depending on which race you are, of course, he's going to have a hard time for your opponent to get out, and he's going to have to use this kind of backdoor to get out. So here we go, big group of Marines. That's a lot of lurkers, and he really could engage this. I think he's waiting for some Zerglings, perhaps. Ooh, but I don't like his indecision. He's going to lose some lurkers with his indecision, and actually cancels that hatchery. Franscar really valuing the life of his lurkers. He does not really want to commit these lurkers into anything. These has been doing something. I don't know. Sorry, I missed that. I was paying attention to this army. A lot of stuff happens at once in Starbow usually. We have science vessels and irradiate incoming. We got some more zerglings incoming, which I like. You need zerglings with the lurkers to deal that damage. Oh, and that is a sick defense. Okay, that's gonna deal with a lot of stuff. Ooh, almost loses some mutalisks there, but he's fine, I suppose. The Zergling is very well placed to scout for any push out coming. Push out coming. And right now, Franscar is in a horrible situation, to be honest. Sure, they're on the same number of bases, but if you look at the income, we got a lot more workers for NasD, and that does help, even in Starbow. Even though it doesn't help us as much as it would have in StarCraft 2, because they're on the same number of bases. Mutalisks trying to do something, but the Mutalisks never did all that they were supposed to do, I feel, when you only have 2 base Muta. They're supposed to do more than they did, and he's so afraid with... Okay, there we go. Tons of more lurkers popping. He should be able to deal with this fine if he can get a good engagement. He needs to make sure that they don't come in on a Congo line, but more on a on a line that way and not that way. Horizontal and vertical, that's what these things are called. And NasD does not want to commit into attacking into this lurkers. He just want to dart back and forth, which I really like. That's how you should engage lurkers. You should never just aim move into lurkers. You should just try and pick off the front ones and then retreat and do as he's doing right now. In the meantime, though, this raid is going to do a lot of damage. Oh, he has to reburrow his spine crawlers. Oh, and siege tanks without siege outranges a lurker. That's just so dirty. Oh, we're gonna have the Zerglings trying to pick off the siege tank. Nope, not gonna have it. But you know, making sure NasD, keeping NasD honest. So there we go. Franscar wants to get the line. Oh, he's gonna go for the flank. I think NasD might sense this flanking coming because he knows this is a possibility with the future of this map. He's gonna have some lurkers here. He's gonna get some lurkers here. Gonna set up a little bit of a trap here for NasD if he tries to retreat. I really like that. So he probably wants to burrow. No, he's just gonna go for it. He's just gonna go for the main base of NasD. Very interesting. Oh, but NasD's little group here finds it, and he retreats with his entire army, which is kind of good for Franscar, because now he should try and take this base, maybe even this base, while the army of NasD is out of position. But no, he's going to try and go over here instead, which I kind of question. He's going to get very far out of position, and this group could actually go in and do something. There we go. He's going to try and pick off reinforcements. He's going to pick off everything here quite easily, only losing a couple of Zerglings. He really needs to siege up this tank. He doesn't have siege mode finished quite yet, so he's just going to try and go for this. We've got a couple lurkers. They're a little bit too far behind, but they're going to do so much damage in this choke. It's going to kill the lurkers eventually, but that was a lot of damage done to these marines. But there's so many marines. But in the meantime, though, he's going to try and... Oh, he's going to catch the... No, catch the siege tank. He's going to get the siege tank. Without the siege tank, it's going to be easier to position the lurkers to kill the marines, but he's losing quite a bit. NasD's still only on 2 bases, though, but so are Franscar now. Is Franscar. That's correct grammatical syntax right there. Cepheus giving you the correct grammatical syntax for your enjoyment. So we're gonna see some stack lurkers here now, which is good when the siege tank is gone. Siege mode is in the... Oh, we have a nice position siege tank here, but he's actually gonna just try and go for the Great Wall of NasD, but he's not gonna get through it, I think. That sounds so wrong, the Great Wall of NasD. Ooh, is NasD gonna... Oh, I think they're just not on hold position. Oh, actually he picks off a lurker. I think that was almost not by design, but it worked quite well. Like how atheists view the universe. NasD doesn't want to land that command center there. Let's just put it that way. He's gonna keep, you know, so they don't splush underground. Okay, that's kind of nice, I guess. Not too OP. I know when they unburrow, they do splash, but wow, that's a lot of lurkers. There's no way this army is ever gonna get out of there. In the meantime, sorry, I missed this. Guardians, that's so awesome. I love this move by Franscar. He had this group of Mutalisks sitting here all the time, and when you have too few Mutalisks and you have Hive Take, why not Guardians? Oh, and he's gonna do so much damage to the economy of NASA. This might be the move Franscar needed to get back. In the meantime, his whole army is trapped over here. He can't get out. He can't help against the Guardians. All he can do is irradiate, which he does a really good job of. Franscar really needs to separate that. Ooh, but you don't want to separate him into the Marines. There we go. Wow, they deal so much damage. I've never seen Guardians be effective in this matchup in a really long time, and now it is. And NasD is a little bit frustrated about this, and that's completely understandable. In the meantime, yes, Franscar is finally taking a lot of bases, and he's really turning this game around. I guess I gotta question NasD's move of taking this base. He probably should have just, after he killed the defenses, left a group out here and just gone in with a small group of Marines and killed off the base. I guess that's the right way to do it. Learning new things. Make sure you don't get trapped by lurkers. especially when he lost the siege tank. That was quite unfortunate. The siege tank could have gotten him out of the situation. A lot of Irradiates will as well. Okay, so the Viking and the Irradiate plus the Marines finally picking off all Guardians, I think. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to there for a second, but they certainly did a lot of damage. 36 workers killed. 18 from NasD. And if we look at the income now, it's huge difference. Well, right now he's transferring though, so soon it will go up a little bit again, but he's contained on all fronts right now. NasD's got his whole army split into pieces. I don't think Franscar can break this though, but he doesn't want to lose the siege tank. Oh wow, that tank is so closely positioned, but it was just in the right position. If that's a good phrase, I guess not, whatever. He could almost just move these lurkers and NasD won't know and not dare to move out, but I guess he will know if there's suddenly like a ton of lurkers here. Gotta get him from somewhere. So we got kind of a little bit of a downtime now. We got some upgrades. We got 2 Carapace. I like the Carapace upgrade for Zerg because it affects all the Zerg units equally, while the missile and melee attacks are kind of split between them. So I also like focusing on, if I only get like 1 upgrade for my Zerg units, if I don't have 2 Evos upgrading at the same time, I like to focus on the Carapace upgrade. And right now we have the melee upgrades incoming, which are good for the late game with Ultralisk Zerglings. Like the Lurkers the Lurkers deal a lot of damage regardless. It's the Ultralisk and Zerglings you need to get the damage upgrade on, I feel. In this part of the game, if it was like 1 Evo, like quick attack, you might want to do it. Oh, and that's kind of a bad place to burrow at the bottom of the ramp. You know, there is high ground advantage here. Even versus Lurkers, I think you have high... No, I don't think Lurkers can miss their shot, actually. Yeah, I think that's actually true. I think Lurkers are one of the few units that doesn't have a 50% miss chance high ground. Oh, and he's finally going to try and sandwich these units. Franscar should really just pull out of there now. He knows this. He really knows that this army is still here. He knows that this army is still there. Whoa, that science also has so much energy now. And it should be really easy for him just to head out here, but he's just going to lose these Lurkers, I feel. Yeah, it's too late now. So here we go. Sandwich incoming. Yeah, he should break out of this easily. It's actually going to kill some Marines, though. I hear some Marines dying at least, even though I can't see them much. In the meantime, a lot of Zerglings and the Lurkers incoming here. We really need to get some more. He already has the Hive Tech for Guardians, but he doesn't have for Defilers, which is quite late. If you think about when the Guardians came, where is the... There's the Defiler Mao. Ooh, kind of dangerously placed there, but I guess if there's ever a drop in the main base, he can still make Defilers. I like to switch to Marauders because he has been going for very Lurker-heavy play, and, you know, Marauders can do very well versus Lurkers and horribly versus Zerglings. And here we go again. I like how Franscar is constantly avoiding the main army of NasD and just trying to circumvent it all the time. Oh, and if you could have just got them burrowed over here instead, but right now they're all irradiated and just are going to die. Oh, could he get... Oh, had he burrowed them here, he could have gotten a lot of workers, I think. Oh, well, a lot of things that could have happened that didn't. But that's it. We got a couple of Scourges here. I don't feel Franscar has done a very good job when it comes to killing off science vessels, or maybe I just missed it. But if we look at the units, we have only 3 science vessels. Maybe on the other hand, NasD hasn't done a good job of mass-producing science vessels. It's really at the end, and he has the gas to do so. Like when it comes to late game ZVT, if Terran has like a huge group of science vessels, that's pretty much going to sustain him throughout the whole game. Like as long as he keeps them safe, he's fine. Like a huge group of science vessels is just so incredibly good versus Zerg. Both the Nerve Jammer and the Irradiate, especially the Irradiate, of course. And here we go, but here's a lot of Scourges, so he doesn't want to get too close to this group of units. And where are the Defilers? Consume is almost done. There are no Defilers out, I feel. Oh, there's one somewhere. He's over there. Okay, he needs to come and help with this battle because, oh, he nice gets the Science Vessels. Did he get both of them? I think he did, if there were 2 of them. Here comes the Defiler, but doesn't have enough energy. He doesn't have Consume yet. And he's gonna lose. Oh wow, NasD with a very strong push, and Franscar can't really defend this. This base is gonna go down. In the meantime, he's gonna burrow some Lurkers. Burrow the Lurkers. There we go. He's gonna burrow some Lurkers. They're kind of spread out though, so it's gonna be easy to pick off. And he's gonna have to try and back off as much as possible. There we go. Dark Swarm incoming. Consume is on the way. He needs to consume a couple of Zerglings, get some more Dark Swarm, push his army back. It's already being pushed back, but in the meantime, NasD did clean up those Lurkers quite easily. A lot of multitasking going on there at the same time. I really like this defense, but it's not gonna help here. He needs to reposition those Lurkers. Here we go. Repositioning the Lurkers. He really wants them here, but it's too late for that. But, ooh, are they on hold? They're on hold. Oh, Franscar, I love you. Okay, there we go. Finally shooting off, but not doing as much damage as I hoped, actually. But here we go. More Lurkers coming in from the back. Zerglings coming in. Needs to burrow them right. Really nice burrow from Franscar. I really liked how he got that surrounded. And just clears up NasD's army completely. NasD not paying attention there for a second and microing those units back and just... obliterating the army of NasD. I thought something was happening here in the meantime. I think there was some more lurkers here. How many more workers? No more workers killed, so I don't think so. Well, at least if they were, they didn't get too many workers killed. Again, building this base. He's barely mined anything off of these minerals. And if you compare to... Oh, it's about the same. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna eat my words there. NasD with another pushing coming. He just keeps making units. And that's what you're supposed to do, I suppose. If you can see, like, these guys may not have the best mechanics in the world. Like, they're not professional players. But you can see that they play a lot of Starbow by how well they're macroing. Because they're used to a new type of macro. Like, I see Destiny play Starbow, and it's really awesome to see him play Starbow. And he's really good with, like, a lot of stuff because of his StarCraft 2 experience. But I also see him, and he says this himself too, that he slips up on macro a lot just because he's not used to how many hatcheries you have to make and how many things you have to do. And this is really a strength you see from these players who play so much Starbow that their macro is just really, really good. NasD quite high on gas. I really think you should throw in more science vessels. He's just been low on science vessels this whole game, and there hasn't been that many good scourge hits, so there's really no reason he should be on these few science vessels. But I guess my job is to cast and not criticize, so I'll stay that way. So NasD is mined out in his main, almost mined out in his natural. He's oversaturating this base like crazy. So he really needs to either do a lot of damage or take another expansion, or hopefully both. I think he lost another science vessel to scourges here now. Yeah, we only got 2 left. And now he's making more, that's good. Okay, I'll take that back. I think Franscar has been doing a pretty good job with killing science vessels, but on the other hand, I think NasD could have made a lot more. But right now, NasD, even though he has a lot of gas banked up, ooh, and this is going to do so much damage. Oh, that hit! 7 and 5, that's 12 kills. I can do math. Okay, there we go. So we got NasD attacking from this area. But a lot of high energy defilers are ready for that dark storm. Let's get for Plago. No more Plago. No, it's just gonna try and consume this building. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, but he's gonna try and pick up both the science vessels. That's so detrimental for NasD right now. Even though he has a lot of gas banked up, his gas income is really low. So he's gonna use that gas so fast, and he really... Oh yeah, NasD's kind of falling apart again. This game has been so back and forth. Okay, first NasD was looking in a really good position, and then Franscar was coming back with the Guardians, and then NasD was coming back with a base kill. And then Franscar feels coming back again, but now maybe NasD is coming back again with killing this base. This is a crazy game back and forward. In the meantime, though, Franscar is trying to sneak this base in here. I don't think NasD is going to know about this. We got a lot of Dark Swarming coming, but he's just going to... It's such a mobile Bioforce. The Dark Swarm isn't going to hurt him too much in this situation. Scourge is here for some reason. So NasD got this base up and running with very, very few workers. Where are his workers? There's been 49 workers killed. There's... just not a lot of workers at all. He has a lot of energy. He could cool down some... Okay, there we go. There's the workers. Yeah, cooling down some too. Good. Getting that saturation going. If you look at the income tab now, it's quite similar just because NasD just lost the base. And he pretty much only got this base going for him. Yes, he does. Oh, actually got some mineral pouches left in his main base. That's kind of odd. Well, it's usually like that for Starbow. Oh, some more whole lurker action. Sorry I missed that. With 4 kills each, so it's very nice. Got 8 marines there between them, or medics perhaps. So, but see, it's kind of, I think Franscar might have the tech advantage just because NasD doesn't have too many science vessels, and he has the defilers. No plague research yet. I really want to see a big plague. Plague is a little bit overrated though. You see like the huge plague, but it usually doesn't amount to much. The medics just heal him too fast. Oh, and he doesn't want to lose that. There we go. But it's such an immobile thing with the small dark swarm cloud. Compared to the very mobile Bioforce, it's very difficult for him to, you know, zone out this army with such a small cloud of dark swarm. It doesn't last for too long either. We might look into that because siege tanks now do a lot of splash damage in dark swarm. They didn't do that earlier, so more like Brood War, but the clouds are still very small and very short duration compared to Brood War, so we might change that up. Oh, I don't know if he needed a dark swarm in there, but that's gonna keep this. Oh, he can get another dark swarm as long as he doesn't lose his defiler. So he should get another dark swarm, I suppose. There we go. Oh, it's gonna take forever to kill these lurkers. I guess he could try and send in the fire bats and have the science vessels over, but I guess it's just easier to wait it out. Yeah, I think Franscar is kind of slowly coming back here with some good use of dark swarm. You know, NasD has no income at the moment. Look at that, just some gas income from his depleted geysers. Depleted geysers in Starbow actually do give off a little bit of gas, like they did in Brood War. I think it's actually 2 per trip. I think it was only 1 per trip in Brood War, but I might be wrong. I think I'm wrong about that. I think it was 2 in Brood War too. Yeah, it is 2 per trip, remaining 2. Like, Yes, it has like some thingy. Oh, this isn't even depleted. That's why its gas income is so high. That makes sense. So, this game is still going on. I'm just kind of surprised that I'm still sitting here casting because they've been at each other's throat back and forth, and they both have almost died. And there we go. I love this move by Franscar. He sees that NasD's moving out. He's gonna go in and be annoying and just killing his economy so badly. NasD has like no economy left. Oh, and he's driving the science vessels right into the Scourges. That's so bad. He doesn't have detection for these lurkers. He's not. Okay, there we go. Finally scanning, but he's going to lose so many units. These lurkers did so much more damage than they should have. And right now, NasD just has to win, or else he's dead, I feel. Like, he has very little economy. He has almost no economy. He has very little production, of course, because of that economy. Look at that. Just like nothing. And Franscar just needs to hold. And he'll be fine. He has the economy. At least he has the basis, and he can get the economy if he wants to. And we got Dark Swarming coming. Sorry, I should have focused on this army. We got Dark Swarming coming. We got Zerglings incoming, doing a lot of damage. NasD not moving out of Dark Swarming. And wow, cleans this up incredibly effectively. We have 3-2 Zerglings with Adrenal Glands, and that's just crazy, crazy effective under the Dark Swarm. And I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. NasD has no economy. There we go. He's not too happy about the map. And I think that's it. So yeah, and he really wants... Okay, well, to his defense, he didn't make too many science vessels, and they got killed quite easily by the Scourges with some bad moves here. But still, a very interesting game, a lot of back and forth action. I was very happy I casted this game. I hope you enjoyed it as well. It seems that Starbow just tends to stay on very low economy just because players are so good at harassing each other, so you never really get to those situations where you have like 5-6 bases versus 5-6 bases because they just really good Starbow players just make sure his opponent never get that many bases. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. This is CFS casting Starbow, and have a nice day.